Battle Through the Heavens Season 5 Episode 137. After Xian successfully sealed the evil difficulty poison body, her strength soared to the level of a 3-star dozun. She transformed into a cardpoint girl and successfully saved her best friend, Xiao. Previously, Xiao had blasted the 3 elders of the Binhe Valley with tricolored dumplings, leaving their left hands at 6, right hands at 7, left feet drawing circles, and right feet kicking back. He then swiftly captured the terrified Wu Protector, who had wet himself. Wu Protector felt the fierce force contained within Xiaoyan's palm. His face instantly turned deathly pale, because if Xiaoyan decided to kill him, he would immediately be reunited with his good buddy, Yunshan. Xiaoyan glared coldly at the Hall of Souls Protector who had once captured his teacher right in front of him. He had finally fallen into Xiaoyan's hands. Xiaoyan asked, "Did you ever think you'd end up like this?" Wu Protector threatened, "If you kill me, the Hall of Souls will make your life in the Central Plains a living hell. You need to understand, the Hall of Souls is not the Ice River Valley or the Bone Tomb sect." As soon as he finished speaking, Wu Protector's ethereal soul was quickly enveloped by the fallen star flame emitted by Xiaoyan. Instantly, a shrill scream echoed throughout the sky. Looking at the writhing Wu Protector, Xiaoyan tightened his grip around his neck. He stated, "The pain my teacher suffered in the Hall of Souls is 1,000 times worse than this. So, even if I shatter your soul, it is only right." Wu Protector, after being burned by the fallen star flame, didn't even have the strength to react. At this moment, his biggest regret was that he hadn't crushed Xiaoyan with a single slap back at the Yunlan sect. Meanwhile, Tian Shuangzi, who was confronting Venerable Tianhua, also had an extremely unsightly expression. He hadn't expected Xiaoyan, with his 2-star dozong strength, to be able to defeat the 3 from the Heavenly Snake Mansion. But Tian Shuangzi declared that he wouldn't let Xiaoyan continue showing off. He then took a step forward. Seeing this, Venerable Tianhua immediately shielded Xiaoyan. He told Xiaoyan to rest for a while. He would handle Tian Shuangzi. Xiaoyan nodded slightly. After all, due to the strain of the 3 mysterious transformations of heavenly fire, his body was quite weak. If he were to fight Tian Shuangzi now, he might not be a match for him. However, just as Xiaoyan turned to leave, an indifferent voice slowly echoed through the sky. "Do you really think members of the Hall of Souls can be captured at will?" Black fog surged, and several figures slowly emerged from within. The auras of these people were quite strong, especially the black-robed elder at the front. Although there was no discernible energy fluctuation around him, the moment he appeared, the space in that area violently distorted. A dozun from the Hall of Souls. Within E-City, bursts of exclamation erupted. Many people were stunned, as such rarely seen experts were appearing one after another. It was truly an eye-opening experience. Xiaoyan's face instantly darkened. He hadn't expected the Hall of Souls to arrive at such a crucial moment. Beside him, Venerable Tianhua's expression also grew solemn. He sensed that this person's strength was even greater than Tian Shuangzi's, likely reaching the level of a 2-star dozun. He thought he probably has reached the 2-star dozun level. In contrast, a smug smile appeared on Tian Shuangzi's face. "So it's Venerable Qinghai. I didn't expect to alert such an important figure as yourself." Qinghai explained, "My subordinates ran into trouble during a mission. So, I rushed here right after receiving their message." However, as soon as Qinghai and the others appeared, the nearly dead Wu Protector, as if experiencing a final burst of energy, started crying out for help. Seeing this, Qinghai quickly stored him into a jade bottle. Seeing Xiaoyan seal Wu Protector right in front of him, Qinghai narrowed his cloudy eyes. To be targeted by the Hall of Souls and still act so brazenly. However, your guts are truly impressive. Release him. You'll be coming with me to the Hall of Souls." Hearing this, Venerable Tianhua's face darkened. His body tensed, ready to act, and was immediately entangled by Tian Shuangzi. Qinghai swiftly reached out towards Xiaoyan, grabbing fiercely. Xiaoyan was instantly frozen in the air, unable to move. Within this solidified space, if Xiaoyan were at full strength, he could naturally break free. But now, after using the 3 mysterious transformations of heavenly fire, he was at his weakest. Qinghai taunted, "Little guy, there's no one the Hall of Souls can't get." With that, his palm lunged towards Xiaoyan. Watching the approaching hand, the madness in Xiaoyan's eyes intensified. Several different flames within him began to rapidly fuse. However, just as Qinghai's hand was about to touch Xiaoyan's head, the solidified space around them suddenly shattered. At the same time, an icy voice echoed, "In this world, if you harm him, you die." Looking at Xian, who had appeared at the critical moment, Xiaoyan was stunned, then overjoyed. "You succeeded." He carefully examined Xian and discovered that he could no longer sense her exact strength. "Your strength has broken through to Dozun?" Xian chuckled and nodded. The evil difficulty poison body that had plagued her for so many years was finally, at the moment her poison pill condensed, completely under her control. Watching Xian chatting happily with Xiaoyan, Qinghai's expression darkened slightly. Judging from how Xian had previously solidified the space, her strength might be even higher than his. He just didn't know if she had reached the 3-star Dozun level. He could never have imagined that from the backwater Jiama Empire, there would be 2 Dozun experts willingly protecting Xiaoyan. Given the current situation, even Qinghai had to take it seriously. He immediately ordered the 9 Hall of Souls messengers to capture Xiaoyan. The auras of these 9 were all quite strong. Although they weren't as strong as the Heavenly Snake Mansion's people, their leader, Gonda, was a 7-star Dozong. If Xiaoyan were at his peak, he could still hold his own against them. But in his current state, it would be difficult. After glancing around, Xian quickly spat out a cloud of poison, enveloping Xiaoyan. Seeing this, Gonda and the others' expressions changed drastically. They immediately stopped advancing, because within the poison, they sensed danger. Seeing them hesitate, Xian smiled faintly and then looked at Qinghai. A chill flashed in her eyes. This old man actually wanted to capture Xiaoyan, something she couldn't tolerate. "I've been wanting to see just how powerful a Dozun truly is. I'll use you as a test subject today." With a flick of her finger, the swirling gray poisonous gas shot towards him like lightning. Qinghai's expression changed slightly. Within the gray gas, he could clearly sense a threat. He immediately slammed his fist against Xian's jade hand. Upon impact, the space itself tore open, creating a dark spatial rift. Xian only stumbled slightly, while Qinghai was forced back several steps. He steadied himself, and after expelling the poison that had entered his body, a look of shock flashed in his eyes. Such potent poison was something he hadn't encountered in years. Meanwhile, Venerable Tianhua broke free from Tian Shuangzi's entanglement. Then, with a single punch, he blasted a hole through the cold air barrier that surrounded them. With Xiaoyan injured, they didn't want to linger. Seeing this, Tian Shuangzi understood their intentions. His expression turned cold. He and the Bone Tomb sect had mobilized so many people. If they still allowed them to escape, it would be a disgrace. Immediately, he and Venerable Qinghai lunged towards the 3. With a wave of Xian's hand, the gray poisonous gas spread out. Due to the intensity of the poison, Tian Shuangzi and Qinghai were forced to stop. However, just as the 3 of them were about to dash through the opening, the space at the entrance of the passage distorted violently. A figure in white robes slowly stepped out. "I never thought the evil difficulty poison body could actually be controlled. Impressive. But it's too bad for you that Binghe is here, Princess of the Ice River Valley." The Baishi Sanhua Tong, as one of the few cheats without any side effects, is truly heaven-defying. It allowed Qinglin, who wasn't even a doja, to leap to the level of a dozun. Such abnormal cultivation speed is something even Brother Luck can't compare to. Even Brother Ya feels like kicking the bucket. Previously, in an ancient ruin, Xiaoyan fought with a mysterious person for a medicinal pill comparable to a 9th-grade pill. Unexpectedly, this person was Qinglin, his former maid from his time at the Mo Tai mercenary group. Seeing this, Xiaoyan asked with concern, "Are you all right?" Hearing this, Qinglin replied hastily, "I'm fine, Xiaoyan." Although Qinglin was now a top-tier expert on the continent, she still felt restrained in front of Xiaoyan. She looked like a child who had done something wrong. Seeing her expression, Xiaoyan said with a smile, "If you don't mind, you can call me Brother Xiaoyan." After all, Qinglin was no longer the little maid she once was. With her mature Baishi Sanhua Tong, no one on the continent would dare underestimate her. However, Qinglin quickly shook her head. No, I'll still call you young Master Xiaoyan. I like calling you that." Hearing this, Xiaoyan smiled. He asked, "I saved you from the Mo clan, but you were taken by the Heavenly Snake Mansion. How did they treat you?" Qinglin explained, "They treated me well. They even wanted me to become the next leader of the Heavenly Snake Mansion. But the elders wanted to set me up with the previous leader's eldest son. I didn't want to, so I ran away. After running away, Qinglin first returned to the Jiama Empire. But things had already changed. After some inquiries, she learned that Xiao had gone to the Central Plains. With nothing better to do, she traveled thousands of miles to find him. While part of it was for adventure, she mostly wanted to find someone who held a special place in her heart. Fortunately, the person she had been searching for was finally before her. With that, Qinglin shyly returned the pill to Xiao. Seeing this, Xiao chuckled. You need this pill? I want to use the pill beast's blood to cure the poison in my body. Qinglin offered. Poison? Let me see. As Xiao examined her, his brow furrowed. He not only found traces of poison in her body, but her blood had also become extremely lean and cold because of it. According to Qinglin, it was the Di-Mang heart-piercing poison from the 9 serene deep-ground python tribe, one of the most potent poisons in the world. When Qinglin first arrived in the ruin, she was simply looking for powerful snake-type magical beasts. Unexpectedly, she encountered an elder from the 9 serene deep-ground python tribe. He recognized her by Xian Tong and tried to capture her. After all, this physique was the bane of most snake-type magical beasts. However, those with ancient bloodlines, like his wife, the 7-colored heaven-swallowing python, are immune. That elder wasn't so lucky. While resisting, Qinglin managed to subdue him, but he sent out a distress signal. As a result, the entire 9 serene deep-ground python tribe came to capture her. Although she managed to control some of them, she was poisoned with the Di-Mang heart-piercing poison. But in his opinion, this poison isn't as scary as the legends say. And with a pill beast comparable to a 9th-grade pill, curing it shouldn't be a problem. It's just that this ancient ruin isn't the right place to do it. So, Xiao asked Qinglin to stay with them. Once they left the ruin, he would find a way to cure the poison. After Qinglin agreed, Xiao smiled. With such a powerful helper, if they encountered the heavenly demon phoenix tribe again, they would definitely have the upper hand. Seeing their enemy suddenly become an ally, Xian and the others were confused. Xian glared at Qinglin and huffed. She tried to control me. Qinglin explained, that was a misunderstanding. I can see through people's true forms. I thought you were also from the 9 serene deep-ground python tribe. That's why I attacked you. Xian retorted, who would be one of those ugly deep-ground pythons? Except Sister Kailin. Xiao shook his head helplessly at their bickering. He then asked Xian to mask the pill beast's scent. It was too conspicuous. If others noticed it, it would cause unnecessary trouble. Now that the misunderstanding was cleared, Xiao and Qinglin recalled their respective team members. However, when they saw the 9 serene deep-ground python experts turn into a green light and disappear into Qinglin's eyes, Xiao and the others were amazed. It seems the Bai Shisan Tong is truly extraordinary. Seeing this, Qinglin chuckled. It turned out that when the Bai Shisan Tong matured, it could create a space within her eyes. The number of people it could hold increased with her strength. Moreover, those controlled by her would gradually be devoured, their strength then being fed back to her through the Bai Shisan Tong. Hearing this, Xiao and the others gasped. So, she could grow stronger without cultivating? Just by absorbing others? It's not as terrifying as you imagine, Qinglin clarified. The absorption rate is quite slow. And at my current strength, I can only control dozuns below 2-star and no more than 3 at a time. Furthermore, according to Qinglin, she could only control snake-type magical beasts. For humans or other magical beasts, it only had a supplementary effect. Even so, Xiao couldn't help but break out in a cold sweat. Qinglin wasn't even a doja back then. Yet, she had reached this level. Such a cultivation speed made even Xiao pale in comparison. He had also experienced the supplementary effect firsthand. If his soul power wasn't much stronger than hers, he might have been overtaken. Qinglin's true strength was only at the initial stage of dozun. If she truly fought Xiao, she would probably lose within 20 rounds. But with the Bai Shisan Tong, he had to be cautious. Venerable Tianhua sighed. It truly is the world's most potent poison. Incredibly powerful. Among those present, the one most affected was Venerable Tianhua. Everyone else had some sort of cheat except him. He had cultivated diligently for so many years, yet Qinglin, this little girl, had caught up in just 10 years. It was a blow to his pride, a blow anyone would find hard to accept. Seeing his dejected look, Xiao chuckled. It's innate. No use being envious. Let's head to the main hall. If we're late, all the treasures will be gone. Hearing this, everyone nodded. After a brief rest, they left. Since this hall had already been ransacked, Xiao didn't bother checking it again. Besides, he already had the most valuable treasure. The rest were insignificant. So, they left directly. Looking at the intersecting passages, Xiao paused. The ruin was vast. Reaching the main hall wouldn't be easy. Fortunately, Qinglin had found a simple map. After traveling for several minutes, they finally stopped. Before them stood a massive ancient hall. This was the main hall, where most of the treasures in the ancient ruin were located. Within an ancient ruin, Xiao encountered his heavenly profound helper, old ghost Jiaxing. But unexpectedly, this guy turned out to be a relentless and fearless fighter, until he witnessed Xiao luckily summon the three-flower trio. This old ghost, who once could pluck the stars and moon, instantly became docile. Continuing from the last episode, Xiao and his group, led by Qinglin, finally arrived at the main hall of the ancient ruins, where the most treasures were located. At the center of the hall, there were 10 scrolls, each suspended within a sphere of light. Seeing the scene, Xiao and the others became excited. Could it be that these are the legendary heavenly clasto techniques? However, when Xiao gaze fell upon the center of the spheres of light, his pupils suddenly constricted. There was a skeleton sitting cross-legged on a stone platform, the skeleton of a Dosheng expert. At this moment, Xiao was quite shocked. After all, this was the first time he had ever seen a Dosheng expert. Although it was just a skeleton, the deep-rooted pressure made Xiao and the others feel oppressed. After he regained his composure, he realized that various factions had already gathered there, including the Fenglei Pavilion, the Bing River Valley, the Heavenly Demon Phoenix Tribe, and the Fenyan Valley, along with many other experts. Xiao also noticed Feng Qinger and the others glaring at him with gloomy expressions. It seemed those from the Heavenly Demon Phoenix Tribe still held a grudge from the previous encounter in the tomb, where they suffered a great loss while competing for the Dragon Emperor's origin essence. Xiao didn't pay them much attention. Instead, he brought Little Fairy Doctor and the others and slowly walked into the hall. Only now did he clearly see that around the 10 platforms, there were also a dozen puppets standing upright. Xiao speculated that their strength should all be at the Dozun level. Hearing this, Little Fairy Doctor and the others felt a chill in their hearts. After all, with such a lineup, even if the experts present wanted to subdue them, they would definitely suffer considerable losses. Just as Xiao and the others were discussing countermeasures, Tangjin, the Valley Master of Fenyan Valley, led a group of experts to him. Ha ha ha. Xiao, your timing couldn't be better. The seal here is weakening, and it will probably completely dissipate soon. Hearing this, Xiao smiled mysteriously and looked at the 10 scrolls, asking Valley Master Tang, "Are these our targets? Why are there so many?" Tangjin speculated that among these 10 spheres of light, there was probably only one true heavenly class Do technique. Hearing this, Xiao straightened up. As his spiritual sense spread out, he found that he couldn't peer inside. However, Xiao thought about it and felt relieved. After all, this was a setup by a Dosheng expert, so how could he, a Dozun, see through it? It seemed he could only rely on luck now. But Tangjin said that luck alone wasn't enough, because Xiao had too many enemies there. Even if he obtained the heavenly class Do technique, he would be targeted. Although Xiao group wasn't weak, they couldn't withstand too many opponents. So Tangjin said that if any unexpected situations arose, the Fenyan Valley would lend him a hand. Xiao didn't refuse his goodwill. After all, he was facing many enemies, and having more help was always good. While waiting for the seal to dissipate, Xiao's gaze suddenly fell upon the skeleton sitting on the stone platform. Because Yao Lao needed a strong skeleton to refine a body, and this Dosheng skeleton was extremely well preserved. He wondered if Yao Lao, using this as a body, could also reach the Dosheng level. If that were truly possible, then the Starfall Pavilion would have the strength to contend with the Soul Hall. However, as Xiao was pondering, a strange laugh suddenly echoed throughout the hall. "It seems I haven't arrived too late." Hearing this familiar strange laugh, killing intent instantly surged in Xiao's eyes. "Finally showed up, huh? This damned old ghost." At this moment, black fog surged into the hall, revealing several figures. The gray-robed old man at the forefront was none other than old ghost Jiaxing, with whom Xiao had fought to a draw. Seeing that the newcomers were from the Soul Hall, Everyone present frowned. After all, they had all heard of their strength and ruthless methods. Moreover, if they were also here to compete for the heavenly class Do techniques, it would undoubtedly make the already chaotic situation even more complex. Xiaoyan glanced at old ghost Jiaxing, his gaze lingering on the latter's right arm, only to see an empty sleeve. He let out a cold laugh. It seems this old ghost, though surviving the destructive fire lotus, paid a hefty price. Although his injuries had healed, he had become a one-armed old ghost. Within the hall, there were also some experts who had seen old ghost Jiaxing before. Seeing his sorry state, they all revealed expressions of doubt. After all, everyone present was well aware of Jiaxing's strength. Someone capable of severing the arm of a 5-star dozun was extremely rare. Noticing their strange gazes, Jiaxing's face grew even gloomier. However, just as he was about to rebuke them, his sweeping gaze suddenly fixed on Xiaoyan. "You're not dead yet? Since you old ghost are still alive, how could I die before you?" Xiaoyan retorted. "You little bastard. Today, I will avenge the humiliation of losing my arm." Jiaxing roared. Hearing this, everyone present gasped in disbelief, looking at Xiaoyan in astonishment. They never expected that this old ghost's arm was actually severed by this young man. Feng Qinger and the others were also dumbfounded. How could this kid possess such strength? Meanwhile, after uttering those words, old ghost Jiaxing charged towards Xiaoyan with murderous intent. Seeing this, Xiaoyan flicked his finger, and the 3-flower trio slowly appeared in his palm. "Old ghost Jiaxing, do you want to lose your other arm too?" As soon as the 3-flower trio appeared, Jiaxing's charging figure reflexively froze in midair. After all, he had already experienced the power of that fire lotus once. Moreover, this mission was personally assigned by the hall master. If anything went wrong, he would definitely be punished. Furthermore, Xiaoyan was surrounded by experts. If they really fought, it was hard to say who would win. And if he exhausted too much energy, he wouldn't be able to compete for the heavenly class Do technique. Therefore, old ghost Jiaxing glared fiercely at Xiaoyan and said, "After I'm done here, I'll come back and deal with you properly." Xiaoyan sneered at old ghost Jiaxing's bluster. "Bring it on." Now that Xiaoyan had officially reached the dozun level, the intimidation he felt from old ghost Jiaxing was far less than before. He now had plenty of ways to deal with this old ghost. After all, even at 9-star dozong, his destructive fire lotus had managed to blow off one of the old ghost's arms. If he created another 4-colored nuke now, he could definitely obliterate him completely. After making his threat, old ghost Jiaxing led the Soul Hall experts to the front of the hall. Although others were displeased with their domineering behavior, they didn't dare to say anything. Seeing this, Qinglin, who was standing beside Xiaoyan, asked him with some confusion, "Do you have a grudge against those guys?" "Yeah, they're our nemesis," Xiaoyan replied. "And from now on, they're your nemesis too. Don't hold back when the fighting starts. Kill as many as you can to make up for your previous mistakes." Qinglin responded, "Don't worry, since they're young master Xiaoyan's enemies, I definitely won't show any mercy." Xiaoyan said, "Good. You're quite aware." He shook his head helplessly at the 2 girls' words. He told Little Fairy Doctor and the others not to rush when the seal was broken, because these items were hot potatoes. Getting them first would be a curse. Little Fairy Doctor and the others nodded slightly. They all understood that whoever obtained those treasures would become the target of everyone. The hall was filled with experts. If everyone attacked at once, even old ghost Jiaxing would only be able to flee for his life. However, when Xiaoyan's gaze once again fell upon the spheres of light floating in the hall, his expression instantly turned serious. The light from those spheres was growing weaker and weaker. They're about to disappear. As Xiaoyan's voice fell, the 10 spheres of light trembled violently, and the scrolls within burst out. Seeing this, everyone present was instantly roused to action. At the same time, the puppets around the 10 platforms slowly opened their eyes. A dense murderous aura suddenly filled the air. After a brief silence in the hall, a shriek suddenly echoed. "Heavenly class Do techniques have appeared."